Hey guys, Susan Thomas here, and today I want to talk to you about the basic supplies you always need to make necklaces. So you decided you want to make jewelry and you're so excited, you don't want to go too crazy, you just want to make some basic necklaces. But things aren't going so well. Maybe your necklace doesn't hang straight, your wire's all kinked, sometimes your clasp break, and the worst of all, you make a necklace, give it to a friend, it breaks, and beads fly all over the place. So today I'm going to walk you through making a basic necklace, and I'm going to show you how to make it, but I'm also going to explain the supplies to you, what they are, and why you need them. So I've showed you guys the tools that you need to make necklaces, to crimp necklaces and bracelets before. I'm just going to show you those again really quickly, but we're mostly talking about supplies today, but you will also of course need some basic tools. This is a crimping plier. It's the Amtara crimping plier, one of my favorites that you're going to need to crimp the necklace. And then this is your cutter that you're going to need to nip or cut the wire when you're finished with your necklace. Then as far as supplies, this is what I want to talk to you about the most. These two spools right here are the most important supplies that you guys will pick up to make your strung necklaces. This is bead-along wire, and I'm just going to pull one to the top here and point out some different things on here. A lot of people get really confused about wire, and so we're going to really go through what that is as we talk about these. Now you're also going to need a clasp. This is a lobster claw style clasp. You can also use a clasp called a spring ring. You're going to need a closed or soldered jump ring, and you're going to need some crimp tubes. Now I've got two sets here, one in the gold and one in the silver. That's up to you, however you want to design it, no problem. All right, so let's talk about the wire first. Everybody always gets so confused about this wire. I think partially because it's called wire. And if you look at it, I'm going to pull some of it out here. If you look at it, they think, well, it looks like string to me, or it looks like cord. Why are you saying it's wire? It's very flexible, and it doesn't bend or hold shape like a wire would, and so people get confused about that. So what this is it's actually a steel stranded wire, and it's coated in nylon, and that's what makes it so strong and so flexible. And so when you're looking at this wire, what you're actually seeing is a bunch of strands of steel. And this particular wire is a 19 strand wire, and that means there's 19 strands of steel, believe it or not, running through that wire. These wires come in 3, 7, 19, and 49 strands, and I don't recommend the 3 for anything, so I'm just going to talk about the 7, the 19, and the 49. Basically, I call that good, better, best. And so, yep, 7 strands good, 19 strand is better, 49 strand is going to be your most flexible and your best wire. For people who are just getting started, I always recommend you start with a 19 strand wire. It's super flexible and super strong, and honestly, it's the one that I use almost all the time. Now, in addition to the number of strands running through the wire, you also have to worry about the diameter of the wire. And this is really tricky in this type of wire because if you look right here, you see that little tiny number right there? It says 0.018. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, it's 0.018 of an inch. And believe it or not, that's kind of a medium-sized wire. I call it the one size fits most. You can use it with just about any basic bead when you're stringing jewelry. It's a great one to get started with because it basically fits most beads. So if the one thing that's great about this number right here is if it goes down, the wire gets smaller, and if it goes up, the wire gets larger. So 0.015 is going to be smaller than 0.018. If you see a 0.012, it's a smaller diameter. And if you see a 0.024 or 0.034 right there in that little slot, then it's a little bit bigger. Your smaller wires you're going to want to use for your pearls or your smaller gemstone beads, and your larger ones you're going to want to use for beads that have a little bit larger hole, maybe wood beads, things like that. You're also going to need some findings, and these findings here are what I recommend for somebody getting started making necklaces. This is a lobster claw style clasp. This is a closed jump ring, and that's basically the beginning and the end of your necklace. And then these are crimp tubes. Crimp tubes are actually what holds everything together when you're making a necklace. You have to have these to finish it off. You're not going to be knotting, you're not going to be tying anything, you're actually going to be crimping this little tube. I know it seems crazy, but that is what holds everything together. I prefer the crimp tubes to the crimp beads, but there are also crimp beads that you can get out there. Today we're only going to be working with these crimp tubes. These are 2mm crimp tubes. Some of the manufacturers call them a size 2, and they fit perfect on this medium or one size fits most wire. So you're all set with your supplies, and now we just need to get started stringing our jewelry. And we have done some videos on basic stringing, so if you guys if you don't remember and you want a little bit more information on basic stringing, you can watch those videos, because I do go into it a little bit more with the tools and some of the other things that you need. Okay, but today I just want to show you how to do that using the supplies that we have here. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take one of those crimp beads, and I'm going to use gold, even though I've got the silver colored wire, because this is not going to show, but I want to match the beads that I have in my piece. So I'm just going to pick up that crimp bead, and I'm going to put it on my wire, and I'm going to take my clasp, and I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to take the wire and go back through the crimp bead. And you can see, because I'm using the right wire, I'm using a very flexible wire, that this wire is going to really hold up, and it's not going to bother it or hurt it if I pull that crimp bead up to the clasp. And I left a little bit of space there. Then I'm just going to take my crimper. Here it is. This is the Omtar crimper. I'm going to drop that crimp tube into that slot right there, and I'm just going to give it one squeeze. I'm just going to put it at the front here, and I'm just going to squeeze it so it folds over and finishes off the crimp. It makes it a little bit smaller to do that. So if you look at that up close, you can see I've got it kind of in a little bit of a fold there, and it's a little bit smaller, so it's nice and finished. And then I'm just going to take my nipper, and I'm going to trim off the wire right up next to the crimp tube. So now what you need to do is you just need to bring all of your beads up against your clasp, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So crimp tube on the wire, and then back through. Now you can see I have like a little bit of extra wire here. You really only need a couple inches on each side. I kind of wasted a little bit of wire, but I couldn't decide how long I wanted to make it, so that's why I have a little bit of extra. All right, so back through our crimp tube, pull up to the beads. Tight, but not too tight. And finish this off using our crimping plier. Now, the reason I like to use crimp tubes is because I think that they are pretty much infallible. It always works for me. So basically I'm ready to put this together. I'm just going to open up my clasp, put my closed jump ring in there, and close it up. The reason I like to use a closed jump ring right there is because if you use an open jump ring, obviously it can slip off that wire on the end, and you can have trouble with your necklace breaking, which is exactly what we don't want to have happen now that you've learned the correct supplies to put together your jewelry. Hope you guys liked learning about the basic supplies that you always need to make necklaces. It's lots of fun. I just want you to remember all the things that you really need to have. Don't forget about your tools. You're going to need a crimper, and you're going to need a nipper. And as far as supplies are concerned, very important, you're going to need some beading wire. Today I used a 19-strand 0.018 diameter beading wire. Steel stranded, nylon coated, that's the best stuff. And then I also used some basic findings. You're going to need a lobster claw or a spring ring style clasp. You're going to need a closed jump ring, and I recommend that you use 2mm crimp tubes. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys would like to pick up some supplies like the ones we work with today, check out the links down below. What was the first necklace you ever designed? Tell me about it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.